As a child, honestly, at first, like you take it hard because it's like, you're still trying to figure yourself out. So it's like, dag, like, another person, says I look like a boy. You already getting prejudged by the world. So it was hard at first, but I think I got better as I got older.
Let me be 100% honest with you. I didn't even know that you were a girl for a minute, for a good minute, And I asked the question. They're like, "No, that's a girl." I'm like, "No, it's not a girl." I'm like she like dominates on the basketball court. It's not a girl. Why did you have to transfer? Why did you transfer from Georgetown to George Mason?
My parents were always very like involved in my basketball career.
Yeah.
And my dad was very like a huge advocate for me. It's helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
But as I got into college, I had to deal with the coaches, and my dad getting into my coaches. And at that point, I knew I needed a fresh start, and I needed to go to a whole nother school and pretty much take control over my career, because I felt like I didn't have control over it. Welcome to Talks with Tay. I'm here with Twin.
What's up? What's up?
I know him as Rashad, but it's Twinnyf.
What's kicking?
So we're just gonna talk, man. Like pretty much me and Twin, we known each other, since what?
Almost babies.
Pretty much.
What, I think maybe fourth grade.
Yeah.
I say. I think honestly, I can remember. If not, you had a teacher named Dr. Bros.
Yep.
And I had a teacher named Miss Wilson.
Uh-huh.
And I think the first time I actually saw you or met you, you were like cooking on a basketball court. And I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't even know that you were. I didn't even know that it was possible for a girl to do what you were doing on the basketball court.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much how I met you or saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, so we went to Pointer Ridge, Benjamin Tasker, right?
Oh man, then you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Like Benjamin Tasker, all I remember is like basketball was a big deal there, and
Yeah.
like we went to the championship
Yeah.
2 years in a row. We lost, but
Yeah.
we went twice.
You all got there.
Yeah.
And you all were like the record was just better than the guys' record.
Yeah,
you know?
we were just good every year, but like.
Yeah.
Talk about that experience, like when we come, like being from PG County, pretty much, like.
Well, I mean, honestly, I feel as though we feel as though like sports was our way out, and I can honestly say Prince George's County or like the DMV area have like the best
Yeah.
ball players overall,
I agree.
especially when it comes to basketball.
Right.
Excuse me. So I just felt like that was like really important to us and like really a highlighted thing to us in our lives. So even in elementary school, when we were in Pointer Ridge, we played like a game of 5-on-5, or even if it wasn't enough people, we played like 5-on-4 or so,
Yeah.
and just everybody would just come on the court with like their best talent, their best skills, etc.
Right.
Even in Benjamin Tasker, like you just knew who was going to be on the basketball team, who
Right.
wasn't going to be on the basketball team, who was going to be on the basketball court in like open gym or gym class or whatever.
Right.
You just knew.
So we're just gonna go back. We talked about elementary school. We're playing, basketball,
Yeah.
recess or whatever, and you brought up that pretty much I was like the only girl out there, and I was just like like a tomboy, and
Yeah.
I saw nothing wrong with it. Like
Yeah. Well, honestly, like let me be 100% honest with you. I didn't even know that you were a girl for a minute, a good minute, And then I think I think something happened. Oh, we had like a competition or a field day
Yeah.
in the fourth grade. Remember when we used to have field days, and then
Mhm.
they had like certain boys on certain team, certain girls on certain team. And when I saw that you was on the girl squad, I asked the question. They like, no, that's a girl. I'm like,
Mhm.
no, it's not a girl. I'm like she like dominates on the basketball court. It's
Mhm.
not a girl. And from that, let me not jump too far ahead of us,
Yeah.
but like with that, it just made me accept. I'm not gonna say women because I was a kid. I was a baby. I was in fourth, fifth grade,
Right.
but it made me accept girls,
Mhm.
and how they can dominate in, like certain things. But
Mhm.
just watching you on the basketball court as a kid, as a little kid,
Mhm.
fourth, fifth grade, it just told me, and it just already I already had it input in my mental, my brain that you were going to be something special.
Mhm.
When it came to that basketball,
Mhm.
you knew what you were doing at a young age. That's just pretty much how like I just felt when it came to you on that
Mhm.
basketball court. You were just very dominant.
Yeah. No, that's real. Cause like when I was young, like when you said like you didn't even know like I was a girl, I used to get asked that all the time. Like
Hmm.
I would be in a grocery store,
Yeah.
cause back then we had like braids, so that
Cornrows.
was
I
the
remember.
style, right? Like Allen Iverson.
I remember.
So like I'll like be in a grocery store and they were like, "Oh, like is that your son?" Or like it's
Yeah.
like, "Nah, like that's my daughter."
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one incident when I was at Benjamin Tasker.
Hmm.
We had that. I think it was like a mile run around
Yeah.
the school.
Oh, and you crushed them.
Yeah,
You crushed
right.
them. You broke the record. I
So
remember.
right, but
Yeah.
the crazy thing about that experience was, they had the blue card and the red card. So the blue card I think was for the boys,
Uh
and
huh.
then the red card. No, I think the blue was for the girls and
Uh
the
huh.
red card was for the
Uh
boys.
huh.
So I came in first for girls,
Yeah.
and instead of giving me the blue card for girls, they gave me the red card for boys. So
Yeah.
I got the red card with number 6,
Hmm.
but I came in first.
Yeah.
So they had to change. They had to tell whoever came in second, no, you really
Came in first.
no, whoever came in first really came in second
Second.
because
Yeah.
I came first.
Yeah.
Because they thought I
You
was
were
a
a
boy.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just like I was totally used to that, in my childhood. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So like, I mean, even today, like, how do you feel like what goes through your mind when some girls like you can see them being feminists or whatever.
Mhm.
How do you really take that in life? Like even when you were a child, how
Mhm.
do you really handle that as a person? When people normally ask, "Is that your son?" or "Hey, is that your brother?" or etc. How did you really handle that?
As a child, honestly, at first like you take it hard
Yeah.
cuz it's like, you're still trying to figure yourself out. So it's like, dag, like, another person, says I look like a boy. And
Yeah.
then it's like as you start to find yourself, it's like, yeah, I'm a girl,
Hmm.
whatever. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
as a child, it was very hurtful because, like, you don't even know yourself yet. So,
Yeah.
and you already getting prejudged by the world.
Hmm.
So it was hard at first, but I think I got better as I got older.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. So you played for George Georgetown.
Mhm.
Then you went to George Mason
Mhm.
to ball. Why did you have to transfer? Why did you transfer from Georgetown to George Mason? Because of course Georgetown's a way better school than
Right.
Mason, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
answer me why you transferred or whatever.
So when I was at Georgetown, like everything was cool in the beginning. Like, I was doing well basketball wise. The school's dope. Like I was playing. I was getting good amount of playing time.
Yeah.
And then I think I had like one bad game.
Yeah.
Like we played. I remember we played against DePaul, and
Mm.
I like started. I was the only freshman that was starting, and I like didn't score. And like one of my like jobs was to score. Or you have to do something.
Yeah.
Um, and I had like 0 points,
Yeah.
and I played like 20 minutes.
Uh huh.
And I remember after that game, like the next practice, when you're in practice, like you have the practice team and then you have the starters,
Mhm.
and I was in the practice team that day, and I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, like, and that's tough. Like
Yeah.
everybody's looking like
Yeah.
I went from blue to gray,
Yeah.
and then it was just like that. It was consistent for the rest of half of the season.
Uh huh.
And I was just trying to like fighting, like pretty much fighting for minutes, like whatever I could do. Sometimes I would get in, I play for 2-3 minutes. Some games I would get in, I play 10-20 minutes.
Mhm.
It was like hit or miss. And then after that season, It wasn't like the best season, so I was like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna just work hard and try to do better next season.
Yeah.
And then we got a new coach. So the coach I came in with, she left. She went to Auburn University, and then pretty much the assistant coach moved up to the head coach.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it just didn't go well, and I'm gonna be honest. Um, Growing up, my parents were always very like involved in my basketball career.
Yeah.
And my dad was very like a huge advocate for me, and has helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
But as I got into college, I had to deal with the coaches, and my dad getting into my coaches. And at that point, I knew I needed a fresh start, and I needed to go to a whole nother school and pretty much take control over my career, because I felt like I didn't have control over it. So that was a big reason why, and yeah, it was just a lot. It was a lot of things going on that I didn't have control over.
I mean, I feel like everything. Well, of course, everything happens for a reason. You get knocked down to learn how to not get knocked down. You know, and after the trials and tribulations from Georgetown, you were the star at Mason. Star player, winning championships.
No, we didn't win any championships. We were when I first got there, we were at the bottom of the league.
And you took you all to almost the top.
We ended up being competitive, and we were basically in the middle of the league. So we went from being
that's a
second to
big
last.
difference, especially in basketball.
For sure.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
D1 basketball.
Yeah.
D1 basketball.
Yeah.
But so from Georgetown all the way up until when you were playing overseas basketball, you were the star there, correct?
Yeah.
So it's just like I just feel as though like the lesson you learn from there is just to never stop. You know what I'm saying? Like you got knocked down. I'm pretty sure like you didn't even know how to register that.
Like I never thought I was going to redshirt. Like never. That never crossed my mind. I didn't even know what redshirt was.
I don't even know what redshirt is. So for people like me and that's out there watching this, what is redshirt?
So redshirt is pretty much you just sit out. If you transfer, you have to sit out for a year. Say like after what I did after my freshman year, I had to sit out for a year. All I can do was practice, but I couldn't travel, couldn't play any games. So it's like I legit was just a practice player.
Just there, yeah.
But it was like one of the best things that happened to me because I was for the first time a regular student. So I got to enjoy being in practice, and it wasn't stressful. It was just like, all right, we focus on offense and play a little defense. That was it.
Yeah.
And then I got to do more on campus and stuff. So it was like one of the best things that happened to me, but it was definitely really challenging because I had so many withdrawals. Like, yo, I'm not playing any games right now. It's crazy.
Yeah. Let me ask you just two more questions before we close out. If it's anything that you can take away or change that happened to you in Georgetown, Mason, or even playing overseas, what would that be?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say when I came out of college 2016 from George Mason, I wish I was a little more patient. I was so eager. I was so ready to go overseas. I really didn't give myself the opportunity to be like, you know what, I can either go here or I can go here. I legit was like, whatever call comes in, I'm gonna make the best of it and I'm gonna go. And that's what happened with Iceland. I got that call and I was like, man, I don't care. I'm not afraid. I'm gonna be real with you. I was basically on a 2-week tryout. That was in my contract. And if I didn't make that tryout, I would have came back home in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So the fact I made it past that, I just had this cockiness about me, to be honest, this arrogant, man, forget that tryout.
Yeah.
I didn't even know in contracts if you I didn't deserve. I'm not a tryout player. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, that shouldn't even be in there.
Yeah.
But that's how it is on the pro level. So I feel like if I waited and I found maybe a better opportunity where that wasn't in there, or maybe a better opportunity where what I got to experience in Australia or in Luxembourg was yo, I pretty much went for the bare minimum kind of. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't know. I was just ready to go.
Yeah.
So.
No, if it's any type of advice, that you can give to people who may look up to you, want to be you,
Hmm.
or even following your footsteps or footsteps that you've taken? What would it be?
Um, I would tell them honestly, like at the end of the day, you got to do what's best for you. Like I said, you gotta whatever dream you have in your heart. Like it may seem far off. It may seem like it's not possible. But like if you know that's what you want to do, go for it. Like it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. Like people are gonna try to tell you what to do and not to do. But at the end of the day, like you know what you deep down want to do. So like just go after it, regardless of the situation or circumstances.
It's dope.
Yeah,
It's really dope.
appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you for having me on your show.
nah, nah, you're
I
the
can honestly say
expert.
that I've never been on anyone's show, being asked questions or asking questions on their show. It's always my show, so I definitely appreciate it. It's my first time being on someone else's platform show, so I'm highly grateful for this opportunity.
Nah, thanks, man. Like this is a videographer behind the 31 documentary.
Yeah,
Man, like you're creative, like you're dope, and
thank you.
I think this happened for a reason. Like
Yeah,
like the reason why we're still friends. So
yeah.
this is an honor to me to have you
From
on the show.
fourth grade was down since fourth grade. So when you see her on that big screen, don't forget about me too. But nah, man, I'm definitely proud of you, definitely happy for you, and I can't wait to see what we have for the future. You know what I'm saying, to bring for the future.
Same, man.